It's another fantastic year over at the Oogie Boogie Bash at Disneyland. Did they roll out any new characters? What are my overall thoughts on this year's bash? And more importantly, did that tragic fire at the Fantasmic Dragon earlier this year affect the outcome of this year's entertainment budget? What's up, spooky fans? It's Dan here, back to break down another Oogie Boogie Bash. And wouldn't you know it, my set is wearing a costume this year for Halloween. It's dressed up like the Midway to Main Street set, you know. In my never-ending plot to get Rob back on YouTube, here I am in a set. So you know, hashtag get Rob back on YouTube, guys. Ernesto Dela Cruz is back for a second year, and boy, oh boy, am I excited. I love this guy. This year he's got a brand new location on his stage over by the Hyperion Theater, which is fitting for his stage and song, man. We were so incredibly hyped for this costume last year that we made a whole video about just how outstanding this makeup really was. He is still an absolute standout this year and worth the price of admission alone. His haunting vibe and musicality make him one of my favorite costumes of Disney parks this decade. And I don't say that lightly. I honestly need to be seeing this costume everywhere. How haven't we worked him into every Disney World Halloween event? I'll never know. He's literally the perfect villain. And plus, I love those teeth. Look at those giant, spooky teeth. Skeleton teeth. The teeth are the same size inside our head with flesh, but why is it that teeth look bigger and spookier on skeletons? There are two brand new villain experiences at Oogie Boogie this year, and the first is the YOKAI, aka Professor Callahan from Big Hero 6. Now, this is not necessarily a new costume. In fact, the YOKAI has been roaming around Disney parks for like a decade, but in like a used car sense, it's new to me, you know? You can spot him in the brand new San Francisco area on a stage covered with black robot goo. Remember, he used to surf in the movie on like robotic black evil goo? Cowabunga, dude! I like the intention of this character choice. I like the idea of making a new land at the park villainous fun, but I hate how it's like nothing fresh about the character or any fresh offerings with the character. The last time I saw this character, he was on stage literally bending lasers to his malicious will like a hate wizard of technology, and now he's just roaming on a stage during Halloween, mansplaining his evil villain arc. I don't know, guys.
I'm YOKAI, a man on a mission to destroy everything Craze built.
We get it. We get it. You lost your daughter. She's fine. She's fine. You don't know that yet, but we're gonna get there in the story. Don't get me wrong, it's cool to hear this villain kind of talk and interact with guests in that kind of way, but overall, I guess I just wanted more. Now, Judge Doom, here's the villain you're all waiting for. Truly, the most dangerous villain to ever be added to the Disney parks. You know, because this guy's got it out for tunes. Lock up your Mickeys, lock up your Donalds, they're dipping tunes all up in here. You can find Judge Doom located right behind Soren in that fun little alley you found Maleficent in last year, and Judge Doom has parked it with his massive dip machine high on a stage with an endless box of tuned shoes to be melted. This surprisingly isn't the first time we've seen Judge Doom's presence in the parks. For years, the dip machine was on display at Hollywood Studios' Backlot Tour as an original movie prop, and for some time in the mid-90s, his original costume was on display in the queue of the same ride. So it's great to finally see him manifested as a meetable character in the parks. It's been a long time coming. Like what, like 25 years? Now, there's nothing necessarily groundbreaking about the costume itself, just a simple black trench coat, that big old hat, reflective glasses, what looks like a chin prosthetic, but let me tell you something, this character is terrifying. The visceral reaction you hear from the crowd when he pulls out a tuned shoe and then like takes it over to the vat of dip to slowly lower it in. Everyone gets so upset. It's amazing. I imagine it's what's like being at a T Swift concert. Let's give it up for the props department because the shoe is gorgeous. I love it. It's the cutest little prop. I wish they would sell them in like the Oogie Boogie Bash merch section because it's genius. I want to see people like taking off their shoes, trying to give them the Judge Doom. I want to see someone come to Oogie Boogie Bash just dressed as the shoe. Come on, guys. I know you can make it happen for me. This is going to be the single most popular character for you to meet during the entire event. So if you want to see Judge Doom, I'd recommend getting in that line early. During the cast member preview, there was like 60-minute wait to see Judge Doom, which is bananas because this event's only like 3 hours long to begin with. MagicCandleCompany.com brings the vacation to you. Head on over to MagicCandleCompany.com and use coupon code DisneyDan15 to take 15% off all of your favorite theme park smells. From your rides to your resorts to some of your favorite foods, every one of those theme park smells is there. MagicCandleCompany.com, coupon code DisneyDan15. The rest of the Trick or Treat trail brings you all of the classic favorites we've seen from years past, such as Sid over at Pixar Pier, he's still playing with dolls. Agatha is over at Avengers Campus, keeping it super vibey. Mother Gothel is over by Grizzly Peak, of course, knowing best, that's what mothers do. You can find Cruella de Emma Stone over at the Hollywood Stages, right near the entrance of the park. Madam Mim is over at Bountiful Valley, which is a great place for Madam Mim because she is bountiful.
I hate
that woman talks non-stop. Last year when I saw Madam Mim, she did not stop speaking for a moment. I cannot believe the poor person performing as her. And let's not forget Oogie Boogie himself on the treat trail in the animation building. And the parade, you know, that parade that has a great Nightmare Before Christmas segment, but despite all of that is still worse of a parade than Boo to You. There, I said it. Outside of the treat trails, you can find all kinds of great spooky signature photo locations with characters that don't have treats. And at that point, what's the incentive? And the reason why Bruno doesn't have any treats is because all the rats have eaten them. Lotso doesn't have any treats because the children at the daycare have eaten them. And none of the Hocus Pocus gals have treats because you don't want to eat candy from a witch. That's cursed candy. They're stealing children's souls is what I'm trying to say. Now, after getting 3 brand new amazing costumes last year in 2022's Oogie Boogie Bash, this year we kind of got like a recycled villain and a guy in a trench coat from the Burlington Coat Factory. Why is this? Don't get me wrong, Judge Doom is an amazing villain. Millennials who grew up watching this movie are going to be petrified. But where are the villains from this year's content? Like, why am I not seeing the High Evolutionary from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Or why aren't there some skulls skulking around Disneyland looking all creepy? Or at least someone dressed up like Bob Chapek, you know? We can at least get one Bob Chapek cosplayer, but there were no new villain representation this year. What's that about? Well, the lack of new and inventive villains this year might be because of that huge fire Fantasmic unfortunately suffered earlier this year. Now, behind the scenes, there's all kinds of restructuring and reorganizing to bring back that show, and that, unfortunately, seems to be digging heavily into the entertainment budget and time resources. Not to say that Oogie Boogie Bash this year isn't great. It is great. I love the new additions, but I'm a Disney Parks fan, you know? I'll always be demanding more. My standards will always be too high. It's just unfortunate that a disaster like the Murphy Dragonfire might have set back some serious Halloween excellence. I really miss that dragon. You know, if you really wanted to scare Disney Park fans this year at Oogie Boogie Bash, you would have had the charred head of the dragon out on display somewhere for us to see, or at least like a poster of it. At the very least, as an anti-smoking advertisement. I mean, that thing was horrifying. Is there still good time to be had? Yes. Are there tricks to be treated? Absolutely. It's a great lineup of unique villains that you really can't find anywhere else. In fact, the event's already sold out, so I'm glad you watched this video, otherwise you'd have no idea what happened there. So thanks for turning into my spooky Halloween video. It's a pleasure to keep you informed about Disneyland sold out events that even I wasn't at. Special thanks to Art Vega, my amazing cameraman, out there in the parks hitting the streets and sweating, getting candy, and all those great villain shots. Thanks, Art. Hashtag Get Rob back on YouTube. We gotta get it. We almost got him, guys. I got him in the land. Now I've got his office in this video. We're almost there. Make sure to find us across all the holy social media channels, including the vlog, Please Stop Vlogging, where Kenny and I are getting up to quite the rambunctious adventures, I've got to tell you. Thanks for watching, guys. All you spoopy people out there, you rock.